welcome to your May 2023 General Tarot reading. This time around I'm using the Prisma Visions Tarot deck and the Woodland Wardens Oracle cards. So I'll link those in the description below the video in case anyone's interested in using those on their own. Okay, so let's get started. So from a high level, looking at the entire spread, this is really confusing energy for me for Leo readings, because usually Leos are pretty, I want to say independent, but like they know their own personality and they're very strong in their personality. But this reading tells me the opposite. So something's going on right now that's maybe causing Leos to question their personality or their identity or their place in the world, their place within a job, their place within a relationship, or they're trying on different personalities for some reason. So if I look at a high level again, there's a lot of people cards in this spread. There's a King of Cups, a Queen of Cups, a Queen of Swords, a King of Pentacles, a Queen of Pentacles. So half your spread is fully the energy of people. But doesn't always mean other people. It could also mean the energy of you as well. Trying on different ways of behaving or different ways of seeing the world. Which, again, is a very strange energy for a Leo to have. At the end of the day, you have the Ace of Swords. So this is like cutting through the bullshit. So I'm not overly worried here. But I'm interested, like, what kind of scenarios could cause this. Right now, in what's in your current energy or current situation, you have the King of Chalices, which is the King of Cups in the traditional deck. And the King of Chalices represents somebody who is mastering their emotional landscape. Underneath that, we have the Four of Swords, and the Four of Swords is like a rest, recovery, recuperation card. So there could be like recovery from mental illness or like a period of grief. There could be some kind of emotional breakthrough happening with this card. It's a positive energy. It's just interesting to see that as what Leo is presenting as. So here we have the King of Cups, and what's surrounding it is the King of Pentacles. And if we look at all these people cards, there's Cups, Swords, Pentacles, but there's no Wands, which is another thing. Like there's all these people, but there's no Queen of Wands, there's no King of Wands. It's Queens and Kings of all the other suits represented. So like, where is you in this spread? Where is the Leo energy? There is kind of a, I don't want to say a danger, but a caution, even though this is your caution card. When you see the Four of Swords, like recuperating, and then you see all these other people cards in there, you want to make sure that you're not like changing yourself to suit others as opposed to what, like meeting your own needs as well. Like this could represent codependency. Again, not usual for a Leo, but it's what the spread's talking about. So here's the King of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles is like the mastery of the tangible landscape of life. So yes, coins represent money, but that's not the only aspect of tangible life. There's like things we can see, hear, touch, smell, taste, anything we can perceive with our senses. Mastery over that. So there's an opportunity in this like recovery or rest process to master certain aspects of one's life. Excuse me. What you have moving out is the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords, while queens aren't like the mastery of, there's a test with queens. So like testing your thought process, changing maybe the way you're looking or thinking about things is like the realm of the Queen of Swords. But it can also represent like gossip, slander, people talking about you or you talking about other people. So if you've been doing this rest and recuperation phase, there could have been that going on around that. Another thing that's coming in is another queen. So again, testing out one's emotional landscape because of the Queen of Cups, or testing perhaps ways of dealing with emotions that's coming in. So emotions factor heavily into your spread, and interestingly enough, it is in your fears position as well. What we have in the blockage position is the Nine of Cups, and then, excuse me again, your advice from your higher self is the Nine of Swords. So two opposing cards next to each other. The Nine of Cups in a blockage position represents someone who can't let themselves be happy about things for whatever reason. Sometimes we can't let ourselves be happy about things because we're like internally punishing ourselves, or we feel undeserving of whatever the Nine of Chalices represents. And then as your guidance card, you have the Nine of Swords. And it's like your higher self is telling you that you might be looking at something positive in a negative way. And maybe that's what all these changing personalities are. It's like trying to find a way to see the world for what it is, as opposed to how you feel it is or what you think it should be. So here's like an opportunity to be happy in the blockage position, but it's like you can't let yourself do that for some reason. All of these cards that represent people can also mean people around you who are telling you what to do. And I know Leo doesn't like to be told what to do, but if someone's in like a recovery kind of position, or like resting or recuperating from something, their guard is down, and it's easy for other people to swoop in and be like, hey, here's what you need to do. And kind of being maybe unsolicited advice givers. The problem with all of these people, and the fact that the Queen or King of Wands is not represented in this spread, is that there could be so many people talking at you that you can't hear your own thoughts or your own self, what you want for yourself. So it's maybe currently being drowned out by the voices of all these other people. Not worried again, because even though like there seems to be some kind of turmoil going on here, you have the Ace of Swords at the end of your spread, which I'll get to in a minute. This is a super positive card. Any ace really is a positive card. So here your higher self is saying, be aware or be knowledgeable, acknowledge the ways in which you may be viewing the world as worse than what it is for some reason. Like these two cards side by side in these positions, it's like someone who is in a state of mind of like the glass is half empty. And the higher self is asking you, okay, well, maybe flip that way of thinking around. Can the glass be half full? Is the glass too big? You know, like there's a different way of looking at things here that you're kind of being called upon to see. Opposite to that, so here's advice from higher self. This is a cautionary card, and the caution is the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles as a caution really speaks to vanity, luxury, indulgence, overindulgence perhaps. It could be that what you or someone else around you is recovering from is like addiction or alcoholism. Sometimes the Queen of Pentacles can represent that as a caution, like be wary of overindulgence. Be wary of what you're spending. Overindulgence can also be like retail therapy, overspending, gambling, any kind of vice. So that's the caution here, is like, yes, you're working through something, but perhaps be cognizant of what coping mechanisms you're using to deal with this and work through these issues and emotions. You have the King of Pentacles as well. Again, the mastery of the tangible. So while the caution is don't fall into the trap of overindulgence, the King of Pentacles says that you have willpower. Okay, so in your hopes and fears position, hopes and fears tend to be the same thing, because in shadow there is light, and in light there is shadow, like the yin yang symbol. Aces in tarot are tasks, or I see them as tasks rather than as blessings. Like some tarot readers will say, oh, the ace is a blessing that's handed to you from the universe. I kind of don't see it like that because I think blessings are in a way earned. So the ace is a task, and the ace of chalices or cups is the task of working through some emotional thing, which it seems like that's what's happening anyway. So this is a hope, like I want this to happen, but it's also a fear, like, oh, I have to do this. Sorry, excuse me. And the fear could be playing into the blockage as well, like a fear of perhaps working through this to the point of happiness. Like, then what? So over here you have the Ace of Swords in your outcome, and I use the term outcome loosely because I don't like the finality of the word outcome, but that's what the position is called in the spread. So the Ace of Swords is the task of sorting out your thoughts or sorting out your speech. The way you're thinking about things. It also represents the task of truth, because the sword in tarot represents like absolute truth. If you look at the traditional deck, the Justice card, you'll see that the Justice figure is holding a sword upright in one hand, and that represents like the truth is upright. So here we have the sword of truth. So there is some sort of breakthrough happening here. The Ace of Swords represents like if you're going through unable to sort out thoughts or emotions, or a period of that, this is like the breakthrough aha moment of how it gets done. Which I like that. I like that after this chaos here. I don't like to see a lot of people cards in a spread like this because it's chaotic. The energy of too many people or too many personalities, too many thoughts, trying to wear too many hats. It's not good. But the Ace says like it's kind of you're working through it. Okay, so from the Woodland Wardens Oracle card deck, I have the Ram and the Dahlia. And dahlias are actually starting to be in season right now. They're really pretty. I have a couple of tubers growing right now. So the message is determination, but I did some research on the meaning of like the symbolism of rams and dahlias. And obviously the ram is like a strong, bold, determined figure, but dahlias represent commitment in the language of flowers. So this guidance card looks like it is asking you to be determined and strong in working through these challenges. And the dahlia is like almost saying show commitment towards this process, and then this will be achieved. So overall, a positive message. All right, Leo, thank you for tuning in and watching. Again, the decks will be linked in the description below the video for anyone who's interested. And information about private readings will be down there as well. So take care, thank you for watching, and have a great rest of the month.